welcome to 9 on the positive side this weekend. Thank you so much for being here. One teacher in Columbus County has dedicated nearly 70 years of her life to being an educator. That teacher is showing no signs of slowing down. Emily Andrews has more.
In Tabor City at South Columbus High School, longtime teacher Everline Davis is marking yet another year off of her academic calendar.
I have touched the lives of many students.
Davis started teaching in 1956 and hasn't stopped since. As the decades have passed, Davis has taught a variety of students in a variety of circumstances as the world has changed around her. Davis says all of her teaching experience has been in Tabor City.
For me, most of the time with the parents, the grandparents, and sometimes the great-grandparents.
Douglas High School is where she got her start during segregation. When the schools were integrated, she relocated to Tabor City High School and now South Columbus High School, where she teaches family and consumer sciences. She says this is not her job, but her passion. She takes pride in educating children to become successful adults.
I'm so happy to know that I taught something in my class, and you learned something in my class that has contributed to the success of your job. That means a lot to me, very much so, very much so.
Davis says she roots for all children who have sat in a desk of hers, but don't let her age fool you. She's quick to let you know she still knows how to command a classroom.
Those grades got to get up in this classroom here if you plan to pass this course. So they work. I work them hard now. I was trained hard, I guess.
Davis says people often ask her age, and she has a ready response.
I am using the phrase that I am a very seasoned senior citizen in education as well as other areas.
Davis says as long as her health allows it, she will continue to live out her passion as a teacher. In Columbus County, Emily Andrews, WWAY News.
She is just a true inspiration. There's something new in the town of Washington. It's called the Main Cup Coffee Shop. There was a ribbon cutting held last week on Main Street to celebrate its opening. There are pastries, cakes, and of course, all different kinds of drinks there.
It just made sense to do a coffee shop. I wanted a gathering place where we could extend our southern hospitality that I'm so proud of.
They're also celebrating the opening of the Little Inn at Washington. It is a place to stay. Head over to our website for more information about that. And this is one of our online original stories. Let's stay in Beaufort County. An Eastern North Carolina woman brought her Broadway talents back home, and she's using them to paint the town. Chad Tucker takes us to Washington to show us how she's giving her hometown a facelift.
I am scraping the paint off, yes, all the old chippy paint that is...
Samantha Brinson is bringing this corner of downtown Washington back to life.
It's not too bad. It's actually kind of satisfying. Yep, brand new restoration. I should have something hung up that says the bride is going back.
Samantha came back home after years of putting her art and talent to work on Broadway.
Yeah, so we do small contracts for Victoria's Secret, ESPN.
Now she's painting her hometown.
And here's what I'm working on now.
She's bringing back an old mural advertisement
what your dress would look like
for a long ago bridal shop. Now a restaurant.
I'm not too sure what it looked like in the 60s.
The beloved bride is getting a more colorful comeback.
They wanted a whole revised rendering with a new bride, new dress, and just a lot more to the background. Yeah, so the sunset is just going to stretch all the way across the inside of this arch here.
This isn't Samantha's first mural. Around town, you'll find lots of her work that's helped bridge this historic city along the Pamlico with its past.
You're never gonna see it this way again, but it's gonna be amazing and beautiful, and I have to have a lot of confidence and believe in myself and a lot of town support to get through it.
While she's leaving her mark all over town, it's the younger eyes watching that reminds her of herself.
And I think that just means the world to me. And for kids, I want the kids to know where they come from, and the beautiful things in life need to stay, and I'm trying to keep them around.
And that's meant the world.
Thank you.
To folks who call Washington home.
Well, it reminds us of the past.
In Washington,
reminds us where we come from.
North Carolina.
You gotta appreciate that.
I'm Chad Tucker.
For sure.
Her work is so beautifully done, and you can follow Samantha and her work on Facebook at Samantha Brinson Art. Can't wait to see that mural when it's finished. Simply Natural Creamery and 4-H are teaming up again this year to give kids an opportunity to get involved with livestock. 50 kids from Lenoir, Greene, and Pitt County 4-H clubs are attending 4-H Down East Dairy Project sessions each week to learn more about livestock and so many other topics. The sessions are held at Simply Natural Creamery using their Jersey cows. This partnership has been in place since the founding of Simply Natural Creamery around 11 years ago.
This is our second to last week of practice, and so today we are clipping their bodies and their heads for the show. So that's what you'll see a lot of these kids doing.
There are several moving parts to this project. All of the skills the children have learned will be on display at a livestock show this weekend at the Lenoir County Livestock Arena. Plans for 100 years, and one local couple didn't know it. There's a lot of history here at the Farmer's Daughter. Susan Ray and Wayne Robbins built the venue on land that's been in Susan Ray's family for years. Now, in the process, get this, they reclaimed wood from old tobacco barns that Wayne's family once used to farm.
Plans for this barn was in the works like 100 years ago, and that I feel like the Lord knew that me and Wayne were going to be together at this time, and we were going to build this barn, and just the fact that that little detail to me that he threw in, that they belong to his great-great-granddaddy, like that just makes it just more special to us.
It's such a beautiful story, and this story is a WNCT online original. To learn more about the Farmer's Daughter, head over to our website. Over at the Pitt County Animal Shelter now, they're looking for more volunteers for their Mutt Strutters program. All you have to do is come by and take one of the dogs in the shelter for a walk. They do it every day of the week at 9 o'clock in the morning. Head over to WNCT.com for our Ken Watlington's People and Places feature on the Mutt Strutters program, and for more information on how you can help out and volunteer. It is great exercise for the dogs and also the volunteers too.
It was a vacation I will never forget.
It's really cool to see him, how he looks at the positive side of this.
A young boy who got some life-changing news has found a way to inspire and use it to help others. Next, you'll meet Troy. Trying to get attention on YouTube is about as difficult as it can get. There are so many channels, as we know. It's hard to get reliable information on exactly how many there are. One estimate says 55 million. Another says more than 100 million. No matter what the real number is here, Bob Buckley shows us one that is determined to break through the clutter with a theme no one else has tried yet.
Adventure and exploration are my passion.
10-year-old Troy Brock loves a challenge.
Adventure awaits.
So I wanted to create one, but not just a normal, regular, boring YouTube channel. When all was said and done, we drove through 6 states, visited 2 national parks, 1 national memorial, and 1 national historical site.
I personally think it's super cool.
I wanted to make it special so that, like, when people watch it, they get inspired and want to go camping.
It doesn't hurt that Troy's dad, Tyler, is a former television news photojournalist who still has the itch.
I mean, I'm always looking for a chance to grab a camera and tell a story.
And Troy's grandfather is the pastor at a church in Liberty outside of Greensboro.
And they all have great smiles, but you just kind of zoom in on Troy, don't you?
He and his wife Stacy dote over all their grandchildren, but
what is it like when you get that first grandchild?
Oh,
it's amazing.
It is so exciting. It really is.
Nearly perfect until that night 2 years ago.
My phone rang and, you know, Tyler just said, "Mom, we just found out that Troy has a brain tumor."
Good, bad, wrong, right. When I hear the word cancer, you know, you think, well, that's a death sentence.
Tyler had to let Troy know what he might be up against.
One night, Daddy said that this is serious. Like, if we don't treat this, you could die. And then I was like, and then it hit me like, this is super serious. This is bad.
And you'll have to forgive the Brocks if they wonder why God has seen fit to visit this on them once again. Grandpa Travis's brother died of brain cancer in 2002.
It was hard to lose my brother at the age of 41, but to watch a child, especially when it's your grandchild or your child, it's really difficult to watch. It doesn't take away from who God is, but it's undeniable that it's difficult.
Do you occasionally get angry at God for this?
I'm past that.
For me, I don't think it was so much anger as it was fear of what's to come.
Fortunately, Troy's prognosis is very good. So good, in fact, that...
And thanks to my friends at Make-A-Wish Foundation, I have been able to fulfill my passion of travel with my camper.
Make-A-Wish provided the family with the camper that they've used to create the magic they post on Troy's YouTube channel, Camping with Cancer. The videos he makes with his dad are part science lesson,
Water pressure builds underground,
part history class.
The National Park Service was established in 1916.
What his grandfather, the pastor, learned from it,
life is precious,
is a little bit deeper.
We only get one.
The kid they've always called Troy Boy shows the faith he leans on his t-shirts and is determined to provide material on his new YouTube channel to help other folks going through the same difficult journey.
Once it gets going and Troy inspires other people, not just kids, adults too, he'll realize that he has this cancer for a reason. It may not be easy, but he does.
It's pretty easy.
Spoken like a boy who believes he's stronger than any cancer.
There are a few things that slow me down.
Bob Buckley, Fox 8 News.
I was diagnosed with...
He really is strong. Honoring Hispanic Heritage Month. Next, we honor the contributions of their history, culture, and achievements. Immigrants embark on long journeys to build new lives in America, but it's the steps they take today that help them get into a good rhythm and carry on tradition wherever they go. Cue the music, because Megan Healy taps into her roots to give us a lesson in Peruvian dancing.
With every step and every beat.
Every time that you hear something like is your heart beating, okay, where is coming?
The music ignites a fire in Peruvians around the world, especially for President of the House of Peru, Claudia Newkirk.
I have 2 kids, and it's very important for me to promote the same love to our culture with both of them, especially those are 2 boys, but they know every time, okay, they listen to the music and say, okay, mom is ready to dance, so yeah.
Eager to share her passion for Peru with San Diego, Claudia teamed up with dancer Connie Tenorio to form the house's first dance group.
I can start teaching. I'm not a teacher, but I dance. So I started doing it in a parking lot. And then one Peruvian told another Peruvian and tell another Peruvian.
Eventually, I got word of it.
2, 3, 4.
So I had to make my Peruvian grandmother proud and give it a whirl.
You'll learn a variety of Peruvian dances if you head to one of the lessons. And at the House of Peru, the performance group, also known as Elenco, they've been dancing here in San Diego for nearly 3 years. But some of these dancers have been dancing since they could learn to walk.
Started since kindergarten all the way to high school, and that was something that it was part of the curriculum for every child over there to learn Peruvian dances, boys and girls.
Dances like the Valicha from the mountain town of Cusco.
It's kind of like a national anthem for Peruvians. The Valicha represents the true love.
And the Festejo, a dance from the coast, influenced by African culture when they came to Peru in the 17th century.
I love Festejo because it's so, full of energy.
And full of color from head to toe.
And the shoes, they are from tires from the car. So we're trying to be very true to the culture so people know what it is.
1, 2.
These are the ambassadors of our culture, honoring ancestors and teaching future generations the rhythm of Peru.
Meeting these beautiful people give me the opportunity to, okay, I'm far away from Peru, but I'm here with, people that they share the same love to our culture. So that's beautiful.
2.
Dancing in San Diego.
Hey!
I'm Megan Healy.
And we are honoring Hispanic Heritage Month all month long. For more stories celebrated and highlighting Hispanic Heritage Month, make sure to visit our website, WNCT.com, throughout this month. You can find stories showcasing the contributions the Hispanic and Latino communities are making here in ENC and of course, across the country. A passenger you have to see to believe in this car, a Colorado's couple's mission to make people smile. That's coming up next on 9 on the Positive Side. Is so much fun. A Colorado Springs couple is taking a walk, or rather a drive, on the wild side to make us all smile. Lindsay Grew recently sat down with them to find out more about this unusual sight.
You can't miss Sally and Larry when they're out driving around. You got your red convertible, and you got your giant stuffed giraffe sitting in the back seat.
It is so funny watching people. They're taking pictures of us, they're smiling, they're waving.
It all started with a daughter who loved giraffes.
I was redecorating my daughter's bedroom and I ordered it online, and when it came I took it out of the box and it happened to be in the garage sitting next to an older convertible that we had. And I just thought, gee, I bet that looks funny in the back seat.
She drove the giraffe around the block and watched the neighborhood kids light up. She realized then that this could be an easy way to bring joy to others.
She came and said, oh, you got to do. I said, I ain't driving around with no giraffe in the car, Sally. And then she, oh, you just got to try. So I tried it once and I was hooked.
15 years later, Sprinkles the giraffe hits the road every single time the couple does. He is as much a part of the car as the steering wheel.
You definitely drive safe because you know if you cut someone off, they are going to remember that you were in a red convertible with a giraffe and they're going to find you.
Why do you do it?
To share blessing. I mean, really, that's what it's all about. Just sharing blessing, making people smile.
And in one special case, they tell me that Sprinkles helped a grieving family.
Large SUV pulled up beside us. They said, we just came from a funeral and we've been crying for 3 days, and this is the first time we've smiled. So that made us, that's why we do it.
Making Colorado Springs a better place, one drive at a time.
You know, some people have the gift of singing, some have the gift of art. Bless other people, we have the gift of driving around with a giraffe in the backseat of the convertible.
I love it. I'm Lindsay Grewy, KKTV 11 News.
I love it. Could you imagine driving by and seeing Sprinkles the giraffe? It's just amazing. All right. Thanks so much for joining us for 9 on the Positive Side this weekend. Of course, we're leaving you with some sea turtles headed to the ocean. Have a great weekend, everyone. We'll see you next weekend for 9 on the Positive Side.